Hello? I'm here? I think I'm here? Hello? Yes, I'm here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I am so confused right now. A little bit, but howdy, howdy. Oh my gosh. What do I. Okay. Yeah, I'm here with Pesterquest. Continuing it. Seems like way lower than it should be. Or is that a trap I'm setting for myself and it's actually going to be way louder because the intro music to this game is, well, the main menu music to the game is so much quieter than the music in the game. I guess I'll have to figure that out. But we can, what? I read, was it, we got through the John part? And the Rose part. I was drawing a blank on Rose for some reason. I couldn't remember who the second character was, even though I know today's Dave and Jade. And I remembered Sunday was Rose. Should grab them names, John theme. I call him. Also, Andrew Hussie, Andy, and so far he hasn't corrected me. Rose's theme is please support the Trevor Project. Okay. Boom. Pesterquest. Oh, that's not what that was supposed to do. I'm a little, I'm still somewhat getting used to seeing the characters in a drawn form while going through it. I was very much used to, very much got used to the prose of the prose with the epilogues. So now seeing the characters, I have to remind myself to look up at the images again. Well, look at the characters' reactions while I'm reading. I have this issue when I read manga and things. I will skim the image and read all the text. When I feel like most people look at the image and skim the text. So I do it in the wrong order, and it messes up some visual gags here and there. For example, like when I was reading like Homestuck with Tavros running over Tinkerbell, I didn't realize it happened until I think later that night. I was laying on my couch. I sleep on a couch even though I have a bed. And I was looking back through and I noticed Tavros was looking down, and I was wondering, what's he looking down for? What could have happened? And I went past a page, and then it hit me later that night. Tavros ran over Tinkerbell with his wheelchair. That was evil. That was evil in my mind. I actually ended up messaging someone at like 1 a.m. because of that. I was like, I was so shocked. I was stunned. I really was starting to care for him. Okay. Man, I miss Tinkerbell. Oh, I forgot to adjust this. I have to adjust this. I forgot. Yes, I should have set this up before. I ran into this issue last time too, but okay. Don't give me like moments. I guess I don't have to do this. I ran into this issue with Arknights yesterday. Not really. This. And I realized it might affect this also. Because I remember when I went through Friend Sim, what I did was I just had it open on the desktop in a windowed format. But this is probably better. Maybe. There we go. Just a little adjustment. But just a tad. Hello, welcome. Walking Dead Season 1. Okay. I've only ever played the first episode of that one. I think it was free at one point. And that was... Oh. Damn, that would have been... I don't want to feel old right now, so... Oh my god, Pesterquest. Hopefully the volume's not awful. I really doubt the awful volume's gonna be awful and gonna murder my ears. But went through this. Now it's time for a King's Feast of Ass. I wonder how much schmuppet butt we're gonna see. Okay. Bop. And we go. That... I should boost my mic a little bit, actually. Hello. Test. Yeah. My mic's always, like, way too quiet. Okay. Let's be real. But as much as you enjoy your new friends, they don't all seem a little lonely. Oh, they all seem a little lonely? Like, maybe they don't have any friends besides the ones they talk to online? Is online friendship a reasonable alternative to a more traditional face-to-face friendship? Are relationships, and dare you say, families that you choose not just as important, if not more than those you are able to touch and feel? Damn, it'd be being a little too real. Decide not to think about it too hard. I've been doing this a lot, not thinking too hard lately. But if you're being honest with yourself, maybe you aren't terribly interested in the greater context of found family and interpersonal relationships in the instant message era. You've got a fever, and the only cure for this disease is called friendship. Okay, there we go. Is to mildly inconvenience a few teenagers. Anyway, sooner or later, playing. I'll probably just name this one something. Oh wait, oh jeez, beans. What did YouTube not like? They're all chuds. Okay. As much of a delight as it's been to make a young boy face his existential future, rob a woman of her booze stash, and then self-reflect about the value of contextual relationships. It's all felt a little heavy-handed. What you need is an emotional palate cleanser. There are 2 kids left on this tour de force, and both sound like they'd make exquisite friends. Okay, time to go full-on easy mode here. You've heard so much about this guy, you feel like you got this one in the goddamn bag. With confidence, you zap yourself in. Oh, onwards. Bop. We're just on this fucking roof. Oh, wow. We're right there. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
I swear could this day possibly get any stupider?
Damn, that's loud. There we go. You're a meshy. Oh,
Hey, Guapara, you're
meshy. Oh shit. There we go. Damn. So you gotta like line that up a little better, maybe. There we go.
I
Swear that this day possibly get any stupider. I love this guy. You're a meshy. Close, good enough.
Farah, you're conscious. I'm not used to that.
That was a cheap shot last time. Great people. If you take anything from my time on this platform, watch Yu Yu Hakusho. You're a meshy. What am I looking at? Oh, you're already here. Wherever here is, it is blistering hot. You nigh instantaneously regret your choice of apparel. Why did you instinctively put your hoodie back on over this robe? Gown? You the mailman or male person? This must be Dave. Rose mentioned he talked a lot, and as you start to explain, it becomes apparent he is having this conversation at you, not with you. Wow. It is unbelievably humid. Person adjacent. It bothers me sometimes with like how Dave types, because it reminds me a little bit of how I used to type, and it hurts to see. Anyway, Egbert told me you'd show up eventually. I guess talk. Which I never doubted for a second, since one of the core tenets of the United States Postal Service is that you visit 4 extremely specific and spread out teenagers while sweating all over yourself. Practically a crime not to be increasingly moist while out here delivering letters on the roof of a sky rise. Shame this doesn't say anything. Which, as you know, is the most effective and legal way to drop off the post. Clamor than a New England potluck and wandering around on the roof. With no package. The kids were based around internet stereotypes after all. They were. It's... You know... Am I like a... I'm trying to figure out like... I guess it doesn't matter because I would have been like after these like main ones came out when I was on the internet truly. And I probably picked up a lot of stuff from people like this and John. Who was like, So a lot of stuff I do online of growing up was really, based on what like my older brother, was doing and did. He showed me a lot. And I'm trying to wonder who he'd fit in as, and like how he was. With no package. Are we gonna worry about the melting red sky? No, it's fine. The sky burning hot like that is normal. I'm a rural boy, so I assume this is just how cities look. Even though I've been to multiple cities, I guess. I've never been to Houston. I assume where's this at, right? I've been to Dallas once. Damn, Dallas was hot. It is actually really cool how much this kid seems to talk at you. But you are barely listening. Has the sun always been that red? Has the sky always been that wavy? They're talking about it. They're literally talking about it, actually. Are you all right? You are hardly all right. You tug at the collar of your soggy mess of a hoodie. This is an overwhelming, oppressive heat. An almost impenetrable air fills your lungs as you try and take a series of shallower and shallower breaths. The world fades to white. This is how Texas looks? Okay. Oh, shit. Who was the... Which doll was in the shower again? Can't remember. Oh, no. Oh, not locale again. Oh, hell no. Okay. When you wake up, You're sitting propped up on a cheap futon in front of a large television. A rough approximation of a person does not elaborate A rough approximation of a person doesn't elaborate. Why am I saying adding not? A rough approximation of a person does an elaborate series of controlled falls accumulating in what you can only describe as skateboarding for assholes. On your left, Dave exists in a quantum state that is both somehow sitting and lying down, but also neither. With the precision of a Swiss watchmaker, he deftly presses a series of buttons that make the awful polygon man on the screen T-pose and fall face forward into the ground. Hell yeah. Seconds later, his skateboard flops helplessly next to him. He does not look away from the screen as he speaks. He's a pro. You're a meshy, so I guess you lived. It's not that I'm invested, but John might be sad. Classic John. You try to emulate his incredibly casual body language as you slide your body down the futon. Your legs already barely reach the ground. Yeah. That guy's a dork, but I taught him everything he knows. Oh, no. No. You ask him if he taught him how to be a dork. You affect a completely uninterested face, as though the sickness of your third-degree burn is not the single most exciting moment of your entire life. God damn. Owned in my own home. Owned within an inch of my life. I'm on the edge, reaching out that hand of friendship, and this chucklehead, long live the king's me. Thousands of gazelles trample my useless body as Jonathan Taylor's Thomas persona watches on. Who will raise Simba now? Who's going to teach him about combat? Philosophy. Oh my god. Life. Oh, okay. BTW, I put your nasty sweatshirt in the shower. Oh, so we do get to see the one chill in the shower if it is chilling in the shower again. Goodbye, Rose. Oh. The shower? Dope. Fuck. Sorry, I just think about how often I say dope, and it hurts to see. Dope! Oh, dope. Dope. You are definitely the sort of person who says dope, often and casually. You tell him, dopely, that you are a person who is not caught up in the small details of decorum or personal property. In fact, it doesn't bother you at all that he took your only worldly possessions and tossed them in a shower while you were unconscious. What's some light corpse looting among bros? Haha, okay. Well, it dries. You can wear one of my bro's shirts. Oh shit. What are we gonna wear? He usually has a fresh stash hidden in here. Dope. Tight. Sick. Nothing weird about hiding some shirts in the living room. Just gonna have a look-see. Holy shit. There are a lot of puppets in here. You're a meshy. Yeah, dude. Puppets own. Enough said. My bros got the market corner on puppet-based endeavors. Backed up against the wall like a feral beast hissing for more plush-oriented content. Little guy's probably just scared. Just wants to protect its... Oh, wait. I didn't do that, did I? Oh, I did do that. Okay. That looks off to me for some reason. Let me try. There, that's a little better. Okay. Just wants to protect its nest and mouth-to-mouth feed its babies. Only the choicest puppet smut for a reasonable fee. What the fuck does any of that mean? You look back to Dave, but he's on his phone. God damn, that is so cool, actually. That's a reasonable response. There is something weird about this whole setup that you just can't put your finger on. For one, you can't seem to find any secret shirts anywhere. It's all just puppets and plushes and DJ equipment. Oh my. Yeah, with my bro, you have to think of the potential for ironic payoff. That guy's always one step ahead. Just when you think you've got it figured out, it was all just some trap to make you think you'd gotten his goat. But that goat is long gone. Makes you think maybe there's never was a goat. Maybe it was some other barnyard animal all along. You've been duped into looking for a goat like some dumb asshole. Or maybe the goat gets you really really subvert the whole thing. You take a second to wonder if he is really using the term ironic correctly in this instance. By dictionary definition, yes. A goat getting you is the opposite of how the situation should go. Thank God you settled that. As you are about to reassure Dave that this joke tracks, you catch some movement in the corner of your eye. Was that a camera? It couldn't have possibly been a camera. Oh, nope. There it is again. There is a camera coming out of the ice dispenser. Don't do it. Don't open that fridge. It whirs softly as you approach, its mechanical eye trained on you. How long has this thing been watching? Is this Dave's? You lean in to take a closer look, but your foot catches on something. You fall flat on your face. No. Huh. Boom, down, down, boom. Dave seems too engrossed in the conversation he's having on his phone to pay you much mind. Occasionally, mumbling something out loud a few times before presumably typing it out. Game, bro. Oh shit. You search for whatever it was that made you beef it so royally. You know, beef it, like fall down. That is a real phrase that humans say. A small tripwire stands taut a few inches off the ground. You must not have disturbed it enough to set it off, whatever contraption it's attached to, apparently. Oh yeah, sometimes there's more of a psych out. They're more of a psych out. Oh, sometimes. You think, oh fuck me, I definitely beefed it, which is a phrase that is real. Oh shit. And then you sit there waiting on bated breath, prepared to be fucked deep in velvety marionette dick. Dick, okay. And it never comes. You go the rest of your day just waiting for the payoff from your dipshit mistake. And it never comes. You wake up in cold sweats for weeks, yearning for a release that will never find you, and it hits you. You've been fucking bamboozled by the master yet again. There's no elaborate booby trap. No Rube Goldberg device set to enact a series of complicated shenanigans, ultimately resulting in being buried alive in Kermit the Frog's plush amphibious dong. Beautiful, really. Damn, bro, you live like this? I mean, yeah, I guess. Keeps me on my toes. Heels never even met the ground. A prima ballerina with a head full of dreams and nothing to lose. God's gift to Plies ripping a straight tasty tour and lair for my adoring fans. They go apeshit for this sort of thing, but it's just another day in the life for dancer extraordinaire Dave Strider. Haven't fallen for a trap like that since I was a baby. Trained. Real rookie mistake, mailman. Looking tired? Maybe. Drained. Oh my god, is he mumble rapping at you? This is the greatest day of your life. God. More plush ass than a puppet lost and found. King Strider drops the illest fires. Cause heavy is the ground. Rhyming puppet with puppet. Call that puppet rhymes. Killing all the ventriloquists. Puppet on puppet crimes. He goes on like this for some time with what could be described as bars of a similar caliber. The narrative focus shifts to your inner thoughts out of necessity because it turns out writing rap is really hard. I picture like a modern Dave would like do what is that, Dracula flow stuff. He isn't exactly great, but you're not really a rap expert despite what your social media opinions might imply, unless you count Hatched to Dance, which of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Wait. What does that mean? Why did you think that? The whole scenario feels a little weird and familiar to you. All of these kids feel familiar to you. You learn something about Dave and you feel like you already sort of knew it. You can't place it. Despite having met Dave no less than an hour ago, something feels just slightly off about him. Something about his actions feels so performative in nature. Like he's pantomiming in front of an audience. As Dave continues to rap, you remember that you are in front of an audience. You cast a glance over to the camera, but also to the hundreds of stuffed little creatures staring at you with their lifeless eyes. Admit you, Dave is performative. That's kind of his whole shtick. That's kind of his whole shtick in the webcomic. Amidst your relevation, we check back in on Dave because I'm getting paid to write this, so I should probably make with the fucking jokes already. Master of my tool, I'm the ace. Hardware. Got more hoes than a gardener. Yard care. Nice. The chaotic and surreal energy of this scene sends a shock of nervous energy down your spine. You feel alarmingly nude without the comfort and familiar warmth of your sweater. There is something about it that grounded you, something that felt like home. Dave concludes his masterpiece with an elaborate series of yeahs and uhs, just as you see the camera turn away from him ever so slightly to focus on something else before retreating back into the ice dispenser. It almost makes it look a little bashful. That's kind of adorable, actually. Despite the fanfic you've written in your head about a cool kid and his new best robot friend, the reality of the situation sets in. You have yet to make friends with this character and it all has kind of felt surreal and weird to you. Maybe it's time to zap back and hard reset this continuity to try again. What does that mean? Feels like I'm missing an important part of the puzzle here. Oh, did he read hear that? How does this work exactly? Sometimes you just narrate what you're thinking. Kind of a baller move. Why has nobody called you out on this before? You put your hand on the counter to stabilize yourself and your fingers brush up against something clandestinely polo. Just barely poking out from beneath a pile of discount plush nobodies is a neatly retail folded shirt. Oh. We wear it. I forgot. Oh wait, I gotta go back and hit my save button. We wear that shit. Obviously, you're going to put this shirt on. You don't want to be the only one not wearing a cool shirt. Do you need some privacy? I'm not sure where one layer of you ends and the other begins. Doubt the audience cares. What? Fuck is there? Oh, you guess being on camera like this is kind of fucking whack, you say. So you pointedly your sprite even shows up on camera. Oh, shows up on screen for a second. Yeah, that's right. We went all out for this one. You wonder if there was a place here that wasn't under constant surveillance. Like, how does this kid take a shit in peace? You know everyone's thinking it. You're a meshy, dope line of questioning that I'm sure the public at large is eager to know the answer to my room. But my room isn't wired up, no. But to get you fired up, though. Meanderies multiplying with... maybe not this second. Alright, damn. You accompany Dave down the hallway to his room. You hear the shower on as you pass the bathroom, and you peek in to see your hoodie and nice gown at the tile being uselessly wetted by a low-pressure stream. You're welcome, PTW. Thank you. Dave motions you to go in first, giving you the privacy you need to change in an extremely starched polo shirt and nothing else. This collar will not go down. Oh shit. This is absolutely what someone in 2009 would think is fresh as hell. You look around the room for a bit. There are so many things in here. This would be a 13-year-old's wet dream, but to you it seems just a little much. It feels like this is a bunch of things that someone thinks they should like. Let the fan art reflect that you've put on the shirt at this point. There isn't a mirror in here, but you can tell that this is someone out there's idea of a look. Oh shit. The door opens and Dave Strider's drinking a bottle of piss with a straw. The door opens and Dave is standing there, but not walking in. He's just leaned up against the door frame, sipping a juice. Where'd he get the juice? Oh, get a juice. What the fuck? Holloway juice, my guy. Holloway juice. What, you don't keep foodstuff stashed around your house? What do you do when you get hungry? No, that's not it. You mean you usually just keep it in the fridge or whatever? Too obvious. Somebody help this useless clown. You assure Dave that you have met many clowns in your day and only some of them were useless. Name one. You can't. Why did you say that? Clowns are awful. Everybody knows this. Yes, clowns are awful. Awful and scary. That needs to be known. Guess he's got you there. You know, despite the overwhelmingly plush decor of the rest of the house, there's a distinct lack of puppets in here. That's more my bros thing. Not that they aren't deliriously sick. Just a whole hospital ward full of the illest children you've ever seen. Each one more up to pup than the last. Up to pup? Yeah, pup. Like puppets? Up to pup. Okay. You're gonna be honest. It doesn't really seem like his heart's in it. How do you mean? You're a meshy. How do you mean? Well, it's just that he doesn't really seem to be all into the puppets. Feels a little performative. Well, oh shit. I guess I've got my own stuff I'm into. Like, if I were to rank it 1 to 10, I'd say puppets are probably a solid 7. You got this kid on the ropes. Just one more push. In fact, you'd even go as far to say the puppet thing sort of sucks. It is extremely weird. The cameras, the hiding things like an animal. It all seems a little, whack. For a while, he just seems to look at you, almost as if he's sizing you up. There is a long stretch where Dave doesn't break eye contact with you as he finishes his cute little juice and crumbles it up. He takes an ambitious shot at the trash can and misses about 7.5 down. For some reason I like imagine like Snapple, so like it would be like a glass bottle. I don't know why I assumed it would be a glass bottle. 6, 7. Damn, I could have sworn I had game. You throwing me off, mailman? Yes, that is correct. You are a faithful employee of the Postal Service. I mean, I definitely believe you, but let's say I didn't. Let's say I had a cool friend who, even though they're too cool to care about details like this, they were a little skeptical of this whole situation. Maybe they want some proof you were who you said you were, before they let you get any closer to their friends. Just throwing that hypothetical out there. What proof could he possibly need? Say the oath. Oh shit. Oh shit. What? The oath. The mail oath. Look. The thing about that is, I mean, unless you aren't really a mailman. Behind his sunglasses, Dave's eyes shift ever so slightly to what you might describe in a less immediately harrowing situation as a moderately priced looking mall katana mounted to his wall. Scary as shit. You realize that maybe now isn't the best time to come clean about your impeccable ruse. Once again, what the fuck is Dave talking about? The mailman oath, man. You can't believe you managed to put yourself in mortal peril yet again. You wordlessly chuckle and shake your head. Oh, the situations you get yourself into. Ha ha. Dave, not privy to your private thoughts for once, looks on. Why, of course you can recite the mailman oath. You say with a confidence that is as misplaced as it is unfounded. You perk up. Now is your time to shine. Maybe it's the pop's collar, but you are feeling good about this one. You got this. You have lied to tons of kids. One more and it will be smooth sailing from here on out. You open your mouth and there's a brief moment where everything feels like it's going to be okay. You immediately start sobbing and crumple into a disgusting mess on the floor. It's a mood. A big mood. Heavy mood. Yeah. Fuck. Oh, wow. Okay. Jesus Christ. You're not a mailman. You never were. You don't even have a real mailman outfit. You're a fraud. You don't even know how much stamps cost. Oh my god. Jesus, just... Okay. It's gonna be alright there. Dave squats down next to your deflated body and pats you a little awkwardly on what he assumes is your shoulder. You say you're sorry you tricked him. You just wanted to impress him because John said he was so cool. It's fine, I guess. Fuck, dude. Get a hold of yourself. He tries to get up, but you are desperately clinging to his shirt, confessing everything, confessing to made-up crimes you didn't even commit. Damn. You're a messy look. My guy. We all make mistakes. Please stop whatever this is. I'm pretty sure you are harmless. And I don't think you actually killed anyone with your ass or were ever an accessory to burning down an alien mall or whatever insane shit you just said. Oh, Dave, you fool. Yeah, you kinda got caught up in the moment and just started saying made up shit. You ask Dave if he's mad at you. Nah, dude. Get up. Dave helps you back onto your feet. You come clean and in an only slightly more controlled and dignified way this time. You explain how there are these huge gaps in your memory and that you somehow ended up with these abilities that let you traverse space, time, and sometimes even reality itself. Dave doesn't say much for a change, and it doesn't seem like he's listening at first. But you think maybe he's just has one of those faces. Let me get this straight. One day you just appeared in a suburb. No memories except that you have some mysterious teleportation power. You're a meshy. You dig through some unsuspecting chump's mail looking for clues. And through some ridiculous universal happenstance, you just so happen to stumble upon the most gullible fucking dork in the universe. Befriend him. Also, I'm there via text. Egbert gives you a list of friends to visit. Out of all of the choices available to you, myself included, you go see Rose first. Rose fucking Lalonde. Damn. Even though we built up such a good rapport, when I told John you weren't a real mailman. Called it BTW. Your first instinct is to visit the most heavy-handed of all of us for some light kinship. A power move, I guess. Mainland out here just dashing for friendship. Can't even spare a neutral for old Strider, huh? Won't even back into the corner and spam your ranged attack for the T-Man. A tragedy in 2 arcs. Both attacks are tiled betrayal. Damn. You definitely understand what is being said and absolutely don't have to ask your friends what some cool video games words are. You are 100% not pulling the boldest "How do you do, fellow kids?" in the world has ever seen. I guess it's like, how do you do, fellow kid? How does Steve Buscemi sound? Fuck. Besides, is that really the thing to be focusing on right now? You fucking wound me, mailman. Of course it is. Nothing is more important to me than this. They say that most humans only use 10% of their brain. That's because I'm using 90% of it to think. How dare you? Shit, that's a good one. I like that. Wait, I'm keeping that actually. I'm screenshotting this part. I like that. So anyway, you can really go anywhere. See anybody you want. Yes, we can go see Obama. Together, Dave. Sounds nice. For all but a moment, the act drops and you see the corners of his mouth tighten a little. The fading afternoon light filters through his sunglasses at just enough of an angle to see his eyes shift ever so slightly towards the window. These subtle movements would surely be lost on most if you weren't so focused on trying to read him. Or even just slightly further away, you may have missed it yourself. There was almost a loneliness in his voice. It must be hard to live in here by yourself, so far away from the people who care about you. It's possible that you have been so focused on trying to blindly make friends that you've forgotten that in front of you is a real living person. You can't help but wonder if there is something you can do. You said you can take people with you, right? Like, if you could teleport John around, Would that work with anybody? This is it. The path to this kid's heart is clear as day. Whoa. Fuck, what you just said. Fuck, what you said just now. That friendship juice is so close, you can practically fucking taste it. You try not to look excited, affecting Dave's cool persona as you say, fuck yeah. You can take people with you. You scope out your fingernails because for some reason that is what you do when you're acting cool. This works to the full extent it can coming from someone who not but 7 minutes and 32 seconds ago earlier was rolling around on the floor, damp with their own tears. Did he have some place in mind? Yeah. I mean, I got some ideas I could bounce off you, I guess. How do you feel about... Shh. With a swift finger to his mouth, you cut him off. He doesn't seem to like that very much, but you still consider it a successful maneuver. There's no need for words between friends. You know just where he wants to go. You just really think hard about it. Think about where you want to be, Dave. Think about what is important to you. Think about what you really want. It will be more magical this way. Friendship is magic after all. Yes, you just made that up right now. Don't look it up. Damn, guess that's true. He closes his eyes and puts a hand on, and you put a hand on his shoulder. This is it. Oh my God. Putting your trust in the magic of friendship, you focus this power externally as much as you are able. Flashes of distant but somehow familiar imagery course through you. The quiet stillness of the suburbs, the smell of the forest, the heat of an apartment rooftop, the ocean breeze. You extend it outwards as much as you are able. This is his rodeo. You are merely the vehicle? Oh. What the fuck? Oh, fuck yes. The two of you stand near a sign that says, "Please wait to be seated." A very cheery hostess has a brief exchange with Dave and ushers the two of you to an open table. Oh, hell fucking yes. There's no mistaking it. About to get my motherfucking breadstick on. Oh my... I don't know Tumblr. This is absolutely an Olive Garden. I don't get the Tumblr reference here. I like I see Olive Garden and Tumblr sometimes. I see I guess Olive Garden and like Hussie too, I guess, right? Something about that. Do you live above an Olive Garden? I don't know. I really should just I'm looking this up. I believe someone told me. Olive Garden and Andrew Hussie. Oh, it was a blog post. Oh. Okay. I probably have seen it a little bit then. I just didn't read it. Okay. Fuck yeah, it is. When you're here, you're family, dog. While you're still new to this, you can't really seem to detect any irony in his voice. You thought for sure he'd want to go see his friends. You thought you had him figured out. First and last mistake, mailman. But you'll learn. I'm a mystery. Got that history. Fucked with the plot, my flow so hot they leave you looking blistery. Racially ambiguous. My rhymes contagious. Contagious? I don't know if Dave's racially ambiguous. I feel like literally everyone but Dave's kind of racially ambiguous. Dave really loses like a lot of his what he was in the early comics, if he's not like some weird white kid. I guess that doesn't truly matter, but he loses some of that he's a loser charm. At the OG with my homie where the breadsticks are continuous. You know what? Fuck it. You just let him go for a while. You don't even know if that last one rhymed, but fuck. If you aren't charmed by this little bastard. You might be better than Drake. Well, most people are better than Drake. You lean back in your chair and just absorb it all. Sitting in the worst restaurant imaginable with your new rapping teen friend while the other patrons do their best to ignore his incredible rhymes. After a short while, Dave abruptly stops freestyling, and you open your eyes. Oh fuck, you know what time it is? No, your Sprite doesn't have a watch drawn on it. It's breadstick 30, no watch necessary. Fuck me. This is what Dave says to Carcat. Fuck me, I love breadsticks. I never talk about it. This is a very real and hidden character trait that nobody knows about me. Well, that sounds like a very real and hidden character trait that nobody knew about him. And we are certainly not finding this out now because of a series of seemingly unrelated events that possibly changed the continuity of this universe, allowing these sort of otherwise narratively unimportant traits to shine through. Wow, he is really going to town on those breadsticks. Maybe this is all friendship needs to be. Spending some quality FaceTime with a solid bro and just absolutely decimating some bottomless breadsticks at a bad chain Italian restaurant. Maybe the real lesson here is friendship doesn't have to be a grand gesture or high adventure. Maybe the real friends. I understand you are having a moment, but I am absolutely going to eat your breadsticks if you don't stop talking about what friendship means to you. Haha. Yeah, man. Whatever you want. Get that bread, son. That's that. There we go. Wow. Dave Shade's really rude. Like a lot of like that could be good moments. But they do add some different types of moments. Like a given pull when you have a character with no like actual eyes. Kind of weird. Oh, like real visible eyes. Kind of interesting. Okay. What happens if I say the shower? What? The shower? Yeah, it smells. I toss it in there. Ran the hot water. You can thank me later. Won't someone need that? You don't want to put anyone out. You've already taken up so much of their hospitality. Also, you don't think that's how you're supposed to wash clothes. I have not been this entertained like this by something Homestuck related probably since you finished it. Damn. The epilogues were it though. The epilogues were like kind of goated in certain things. I kind of maybe didn't enjoy the end, like the overall plot probably, but everything else was fun. Nah, my bro's out for a while. It happens sometimes. Probably puppet related. He avoids the laundry minefield by opting for the nuclear option. Though you guess that makes sense. There are a lot of puppets around, which strike you as an extremely normal and reasonable, and not even a little whack. Oh, I just assumed their apartment didn't have a didn't have a laundry room. Yeah, puppets rule. End of story. Shit, close the book on that one. You're a meshy time for a Betty Pie kid. Little man about to get his 8 to 10 on snug as a bug in a fucking rug. Tucked the fuck in tight as can be on his way to Slumberland. Nemo who? Never fucking heard of him. Shit, hold on. He sits up to fish something out of his pocket. A phone. He gets a phone from his pocket. Not sure what you were thinking. As a perfectly normal human being from a 100% real and tangible Earth, you know what a cell phone is. What is that, a first gen? Yikes. He ignores your jab and you pretend not to be reading over his shoulder, though it probably could not be more obvious that you are.
Hi, did you meet the mailman?
My God, we have gone over this time and time again. How do I put this in terms you can understand? Have you ever met a mailman in your life? Even that shitty Costner flick you love, the dude has the decency to at least wear the outfit.
Haha, I knew you watched it.
No, I'd never waste my precious time watching even a single one of the Z-list garbage you try to wreck me. I'm just stating stone cold facts. I just read an outline and browsed a few review sites to see what people were saying.
I don't know. It sounds like that probably took a lot more time and effort than just watching the movie itself.
What I'm saying is, this isn't a mailman. I don't even think this is a person. You have thrust a person-style entity into my life under the alluring guise of parcel delivery, which I am understanding right now. Right, this clown isn't even very good at, on account of how bad they bungled the only delivery that mattered. At least Lalon had the good sense to be skeptical of this absolute fucking tomfoolery.
Don't be a dick. The mailman is cool.
John, I cannot stress this enough. You wouldn't know cool if it bit you right in the ass. Can you imagine?
No.
The dopest person you've ever met chomping away, just really getting up in there, ice cold and ear deep in a king's feast of ass.
What the hell are you talking about?
Try to keep up, Egbert. This will be on the quiz.
He looks uncharacteristically startled as he glances back in your direction, to find you only a few inches away, adamantly reading his private conversation with a friend.
Jesus Christ, you're like a cat. How much of that did you see?
You definitely didn't see him having a playfully flirtatious chat with a longtime friend, if that's what she's asking. Dave desperately tries to refocus on his game hijinks. He makes his character, who you can see he has named Tony Cock. I like jokingly laughed, then I laughed, and then I like laughed at me laughing a little bit, and it was almost like a repeating loop. And this is me trying to gain my composure. I think I have. Do what could be described as some insane flips and shit. Masterful.
There's nothing at all flirtatious about two bros discussing eating ass.
Exactly.
Just being straight as two arrows who are also straight. I mean, how would that even work? It wouldn't. That's how. That's all there really is to say about that.
You reassure him that it is okay to be honest about his feelings. You're not here to judge him. John seems very nice. They would be cute together.
Together? Like how? No, don't tell me. I actually don't give even a single shit about this line of thought. You might not have picked this up, but I'm definitely 100% not a homosexual. Pretty much crawling in moist vulturous hoes on the regular.
Wait, hoes are real?
Hell yeah, hoes are real.
And they're damp?
Shit, it's like I gotta start at square one with this hapless asshole. What school do you go to?
The utter astonishment you feel at this earth-shattering revelation sends your consciousness for a spin, but you manage to steel yourself. This isn't your first tough customer. You tell Dave that hoes is a gender-neutral term. Anyone can be a hoe if they believe in themselves. Hoe-like behavior knows no limits, no master. Damn, I think Blueface might be a master, like kinda, like actually. Despite learning that they were real mere moments ago, you're confident that to be a hoe is to be free.
Oh, that's pretty dope, I guess. It's not. It's not like I've never thought of it. I mean, for the ironic payoff, obviously. Can you imagine the look on his face? His best bro coming up to him with some dire news. I'd look up at him, eyes red with tears, as I put a hand on his shoulder and say, John, not to alarm you, but I'm gay now. Now your clueless dipshit wiles have finally won me over. No, that sucks.
Damn, that was a good face he made there. Holy shit, wait. That's good. That's good. His speech has become even quicker than normal as he stands and paces frantically around the apartments, completely abandoning his poor Tony.
I mean, and this is purely hypothetical. If I liked anyone, which I don't on account of being too fucking smooth to tie myself down, it would probably be another one of my friends. You don't know her. She's not from around here. So that basically means I can't have a thing.
A thing.
For John.
Damn. Coping, huh?
Case closed. By unanimous decision, the jury finds in favor of the defendant. Me.
It seems to you like he's got a lot to think about, and maybe this is a little heavy for the first meeting. You already feel emotionally exhausted.
No fucking way. We're in this for the long haul, partner. We are entrenched in this shit. You and me are fighting on the front lines of isn't he World War I? Troops are spilling over the embankment armed to the teeth with various literature and pamphlets. I'm already learning so much about myself.
Oh, is that good?
The enemy is at the gates of my sexuality and our air support is nowhere to be seen. If I don't make it, tell my wife or maybe husband I died like I lived. Completely baller in every conceivable way.
Fair. This conversation train has This conversation train has not just gone off the rails, but is crashing headfirst into the nearest village. Just some unsuspecting hamlet fallen prey to this out-of-control ride. This is no longer a conversation you have any say in. You desperately look around the room for anything else to talk about. So, puppets, right? Wonder if I'm gonna get decapitated.
Oh, no. You fucked up, mailman. You opened the floodgates of introspection. We are balls deep in the discourse waters, and there's nobody to blame but yourself.
He stops pacing to look contemplative. His voice lowers to a mumble. Is he still talking to you? Does he still want to talk about this or not? It is nearly impossible to tell.
Okay, now hear me out. Do I have to come up with this gay name now? With a gay name now? Or can I still be Dave? I'm thinking Gave. But let's not kid ourselves. That's an amateur choice. Obviously, my full title would be Gabe Strider Dick Rider. Ooh, fuck.
Gabe Strider Dick Rider. Okay. Oh my god, that's like... Oh my god, this is basically Dirk's name. Dick Rider. Okay, that's enough. There has got to be a better way than this. You are so tired. Abscond. Blah, blah, blah. Damn. Damn, we left. My god. Okay, I guess don't wear this shirt. Let's not look fly as hell. Actually, you think you're fine as is. No reason to shake it up with yet another outfit we'll have to eventually pay someone to draw. Gave to OP. Let's take a second. Reel it in for a little bit. What the fuck is going on here? Isn't this like really messed up?
No, what's messed up is how you deny my hospitality like this. I offer you someone else's property that you have to find hidden among countless lifeless puppet corpses.
Corpses.
And this is the thanks I get. Real cold mailman. Damn, maybe I'll wear the shirt to protect me from this chill.
Oh, enough. Okay. Like, why isn't he in school? It's the middle of April.
It's spring break, bro. Besides, I only subscribe to the School of Hard Knocks. Also, several YouTube channels and periodicals. So, you're a meshy. Pretty sweet deal over here, actually.
You know he isn't really like this. You know he doesn't like living like this.
Oh, damn, is that true? Oh, the camera's back. What am I like? Apparently, we got the foremost expert in Dave lore here. PhD in Strider Dynamics. It's the first day of school and I'm here in class eager to learn. Got my pencil out, got my freshest fit on. Got my dope new Trapper Keeper with the Lisa Frank dolphins on it. Look at them on there, smiling like assholes. You're a meshy. One blue, one pink, so we know it's not gay. Poor bastards don't know they're a cartoon. Saddest story I ever heard.
Saddest story. The little camera switches its focus from Dave back to you, gauging your reaction. Ignoring it, you assert that you aren't trying to say you know him, just that.
That what?
Okay, clearly you've struck some sort of nerve here, but
nah, we're good. Tell me more about my situation. You really have been spending time with Rose, haven't you? Got me all figured out. Don't worry, if you gotta look at the Wikipedia article for abandonment issues or whatever, I can wait.
Despite how flat his voice is coming out, his body language has made a telltale shift. He's standing leaned up against the back of the futon. His hands are in his pockets. It would almost seem like he was sulking if you weren't so convinced he wanted to kick your ass. Fucking scary. I didn't notice that before. Is that new? Has that been happening? What the At the edge of your vision, you sense some movement. Oh, that just first time happened. You didn't catch it exactly, but you're convinced it was there. You look over there, and there's Nothing to be seen. Perhaps another hidden camera? There is something unsettling about being watched this whole time. Oh, there it is again. Every now and then your eyes catch the faintest presence of something moving just out of sight. The whole place just feels like it's faintly shifting around. Amid scanning the room, a particularly fucked up looking puppet catches your attention. These little shits are everywhere, but this awful little man's stare stops your heart for just a moment. Its cold eyes pierce you. Its plastered smile judges you. Oh no. You look at it as briefly as possible, if for no other reason than to note how unsettling it is before looking back to Dave. What the fuck?
What? Oh, that's just Cal. Cal's the realist.
He certainly seems real to you. You could have sworn he just moved around on his own.
Yeah, man, he does that. Don't think about it too hard.
See, this is what you mean.
It's not that deep. Look, I know you got some hero complex or something. Gonna swoop in and save these kids from themselves. Well, bad news, kid. That's not what this is. This is, and heroes aren't real. John, I understand, but fooling Rose too? The insane tricks this guy must have pulled.
Dave has shifted his weight forward, while his voice has not risen above a low mumble. This is enough of a tell to know that maybe you should back off. This friendship thing is tougher than you thought.
You're still on about that, huh? Look, I'm no expert on friendship, minus the fact that I absolutely am. But you ever think maybe coming into someone's home and fucking with their day-to-day life is a little rude? Just a hypothetical. As per normal, I'm stone cold unbothered by this turn of events. A stoic bastion in the...
You're sorry, but did he just say stoic? Stoic? Stoic?
What? Yeah. Stoic, like unmoved?
Stoic? He says stoic?
A stoic bastion in the...
Was this stated? Okay.
Stoic, like unmoved?
Does he mean stoic?
I mean, I guess.
Ah, Peas, you've done it now. You weren't trying to embarrass him. Oh, jeez. You try and comfort him by saying that it's okay if he's never heard anybody say the word before. Maybe he's only seen it in text. He frowns and goes quiet. This does not seem to be helping. The kid is completely shut off now. You try and bring up the puppets again. No dice. You even pretend to be super jazzed about Cal or whatever its name was. Seemingly shadow stepping around the apartment. Wow, so cool. Nothing. Dave takes out his phone and begins texting. Ah, is that about you? Oh, Beans, is he telling your new friends how much of you beefed it? This could ruin everything. Oh, despite desperate times call for desperate measures. And this is the most desperate time you can recall. A friendship is on the line. Cal continues to phase in and out like a poorly animated anime character moving so fast you can't keep up. You take a few steps towards Dave. You've got to get him out of here, and you know just where to take him. About half a second into your stealth mission, you clumsily step on a puppet and it makes a pathetic squeak. Dave stops for a second, but after a few moments returns to texting at the speed of sound to whoever is on the other end. Cheese and crackers, you can hear the notification sounds popping off. Whoever it is responding back, they can't waste any more time. You can't waste any more time. You teleport to him as silently as you can. Besides you, cow's disgusting limp body haphazardly on top of a shelf. Guess he's done. No time for this. You slowly reach out your hand. Time to get out of here and fix this. A large adult hand grabs you by the wrist. You turn to see it belongs to a muscular man in a pointy sunglasses, who you wouldn't exactly describe as a twink, and not exactly a hunk, but most certainly not a bear either. In fact, why don't we talk about it for several... Oh shit, he's a thong! Before you can begin your extremely important debates, you're flung unceremoniously out of a high-rise apartment complex window. As you freefall, you think, maybe he was more of a twunk. And that's, yeah. Damn! Sorry. I'm just like, that's how Dave Strider's built? Dirk Strider's built like that? I didn't have that in my mind. Seeing, you know what? I probably have an image of this guy saved. I can pull this up like fairly quick. Maybe I don't. Yeah. This is Dave's Ronald Dirk. Slightly different workout routines. Yeah. I guess. Yeah, sorry. So I said Dirk just because it's yeah. My bad there. Shit. Maybe I should have like imagined he was built like that. See, I like had this image in my head. Like, cause we see like this. That's shit. Hold on. This is like capturing me. Fuck. That animation is probably the best shot I have. But I ain't pull up a full ass animation. I don't think any Dirk panel. Any Dave's bro. I have to say Dave's bro because bro can imply Dirk's bro. Like it's not really his bro actually. In the same sense as it would be Dave's bro. Interesting. Yeah. Damn. Fuck. Dave's bro is just is actually him. Dave's bro is him, I guess. Downfall. Damn, that face he was making there. Okay. That was Dave Strider, I guess. And then we go to the loneliest girl in the world. And then dun 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 dun. So one thing I was wondering if these ones are shorter. Because like this is still volume 5 and this is volume 6. It would make sense for these to be shorter. But damn, it's gonna hurt. Like I'm okay with like this being shorter. I'm okay with this being short. No, never mind. It just kind of makes sense. There's like only like 4 characters who really would be cool to like see more of, right? It's like Karkat, Kanaya, Vriska, Terezi. The other characters are kind of like, Other trails are like, I guess. I mean, sure. Right? Like, sure, it'd be cool to see Aradia more. You know? Yeah. It is pronounced Aradia. Yeah. Aradia. I think I said was Aradia in like another in like a different thing. It would make sense, but I will be right back. OMG. Oh my god, I'm back. Hello. 'Tis I. Oh, I am here. Yes, yes. Oh, a little tired there. Okay, those are the only ones. Okay. Okay. Oh, now on to Jade Harley, the furry girl. Oh, I guess, sorry, the loneliest girl in the world. Furry, though. It's been days and your stomach still hasn't recovered from Olive Garden. But you can't spend forever moping around. There are friends to make, damn it. Well, just one left in this set. Her name is Jade Harley. And though all three of your new pals consider themselves good friends with her, they know strikingly little about her life. The most you have gleaned is that she lives on a mysterious island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with her grandfather and some uncommon breed of dog. The communication with her has been limited to internet messages and packages sent to a P.O. box in some podunk town called Homestuck. John said, Homestuck game never. John said he would message her and see if she could provide an address. But you don't want to wait. Throwing yourself headlong into friendship has always been worked for you. So you close your eyes, think islandy thoughts, and hope it works. But something strange happens as you channel your powers. A loud bark echoes somewhere in the distance. A nuclear green energy sparks in the air around you. You catch a split-second glimpse of a massive green sun, and then you hit the ground on your hands and the knees. The whole event can't have taken more than a second or two. Oof. Oh, we're there. He's pissed. You blink and focus your vision. You're inside a room. The floor is smooth and white and disrupting the monotony in front of you as a set of similarly white paws attached to a luscious, you mean an animal. You slowly stagger up and look over him. He is a very large and fluffy dog. His snout held up high. A long green tongue hangs from his open mouth as he pants lightly, and the air around him crackles with electricity, making the fur on his back stand on end. Something about him feels so familiar to you, familiar twice over. His fuzzy and regal form reminds you of a warmth you once knew, but those neon sparks fill your stomach with dread. At the very least, he seems friendly. He leans in and drags his rough tongue along your cheek, leaving it tingling. His tail wags swiftly back and forth and he keeps nosing at you. He seems fascinated. Aww. Back down, boy. Oh. I don't know what I expected. This reminds me of a visual novel I played, a different one where like you first meet a girl and she's just pointing a gun at you. It is this friendly demeanor of his that this friendly demeanor of his that leaves you shocked when he moves aside and you find yourself staring down the barrel of a rifle. It is held aloft by a bespectacled young lady in a sensible skirt who really has no business pointing such a big fucking gun at you. Okay, please don't panic and don't make any sudden moves. I've never shot a living being before, and it would make me very, very sad if I had to start now. Oh, okay. So this is happening now. Is this Jade? She doesn't sound like Jade, based on what John told you. She looks more like a Gigi. Anyway, or maybe a Lynn? I could see a Gigi. Right, the gun. Don't get sidetracked. You slowly raise your hands in surrender and try to put on your most inoffensive expression. You tell her that if she started shooting living beings, you would be pretty sad too. So why doesn't she put the gun down and... No way. I don't want to shoot you, but you are clearly a dangerous and unpredictable being, and I need to make sure I stay safe. My grandpa taught me a lot about gun safety and trigger discipline in case anything bad ever happened to me. So I know that good trigger discipline means keeping your finger on the trigger at all times in case you need to blow something to bits. That's true, Jade, that's true. Oh, fuck. Now, let me make things clear to you. I'm a very clever girl, and you won't be able to fool me as easily as you fool the others. It's very obvious to me what you've been doing, and I knew you would eventually show up if I waited long enough. Sure enough, John messaged me not too long ago to let me know you want to visit, and so I prepared myself for your arrival. You've come to interfere with our lives, and now I want to know why. So you had better start talking, okay? Okay, you say. What does she want to talk about? Well, your version of variety of eclectic? Electric? Subjects. So you can go on about basically anything. Wrestling, postmodern art, controversial opinions on traditional jurisprudence? But you get the feeling that this is an interrogation, and you really have no idea what she's interrogating you over. That's a very likely story. I can put two and two together pretty easily, you know. You've never shown up in any of my dreams before, and now none of those dreams are coming to pass. Not to mention that I don't even see prospect when I go to sleep anymore. And that can only mean you have derailed the forces of fate. You destroyed John's copy of Suburban, somehow that changed everything. Not only could John not begin the game, none of us could, and none of the meteors hit like they were supposed to. It was like the universe changed its very fabric to bend to your evil whims. Whoa, evil? That's a little harsh. Yulkopt is stupid, but evil is way too much. Don't play dumb with me. What else could motivate you to stop us from fulfilling our destiny as heroes? Heroes? John and friends are very nice, but they don't exactly strike you as heroes. That's because you don't know them like I know them. You haven't seen the shrines on Prospect or heard stories from the Queen or seen them in clouds growing into brave and wonderful people. And now I'm beginning to suspect that those things will never come to pass. John's birthday came and passed without any fanfare, except for him supposedly befriending a strange mailman. And that day, the internet was full of people complaining that their beta copies of Suburb weren't working, and there was a huge scandal with the company. A little while later, I found out that this mailman was talking with Rose and had magical powers. I know a thing or two about magical powers, or at least powers which seems to be magical to those who haven't studied their logical sources. But yours are totally different from anything I've seen. At first I thought you must be an advanced Dursite agent come to sabotage us. But you definitely aren't from Durs. Maybe a Prospidian double agent? I also considered the whole trolls who keep pestering me. But they've been weirdly quiet lately, and you don't really give me that vibe. And obviously you are not a human. Whoa, hang on. You are a human, right? She tilts her head and gives you a little really kind of look, and your stomach twists into knots. The more I look at you, and the more I start to think you're like, how do I explain this? Okay, do you know what a furry is? Wow, okay. That question is more loaded than her gun. Yes? Alright, so a lot of artists I follow do, YCH commissions, and you remind me of one of those. Does that make sense? You have no idea what YCH is. You cautiously ask her. It stands for your character here. Ah. That's what that, thank you. Thank you, game. Thank you. Basically, an artist will draw a pose or scenario, but instead of putting in an actual character, it will leave a blank outline like a mannequin. You pay them to put your own character there. And when I look at you, I feel like I'm looking at one of those blank spaces. My intuition doesn't tell me anything about you, and you've never shown up in my dreams. You're like a best friend. You're like my best friend Beck over here. A complete wild card, something I can't figure out. Which brings me back to my point. She had almost let her gun drop, and you had almost forgotten she was holding it, but she hefts it back up to point at you and you steals her gaze. Were you going to you are going to tell me why you came here and did what you did, and then you're going to help fix it. That rifle is really starting to bother you. Get that gun away from her. That's the option. That's what the option we take. Because that's the winning option. You can't let a good opportunity slip between your fingers again. You need to disarm her before she accidentally blows you to smithereens. There must be something else that will get her guard down. You ask about her grandfather, the one who taught her about guns. He must surely be a reasonable and mature man. Perhaps it might be best to bring him down into the discussion. You could sit down, have a tea, drop the gun. I don't know. Grandpa does love his tea time with guests, but usually conversations with him are really one-sided. Oh, is he that stubborn? Well, yes. He's pretty obstinate. He's a pretty obstinate man and a total blowhard. But as well, you may find him difficult to talk to on account of the fact that he is also a stuffed corpse. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's cool. That checks out. This is fine. Everything's fine. You love guest starring in a goddamn Hitchcock movie. This girl is clearly too unstable to be reasoned with. You need to disarm her, and pronto. You steer the topic away from the grandfather she surely murdered and wait for another lull in the conversation. When her eyes start to wander and her grip slackens, you spring forward and reach for the rifle. Poof. She shrieks and goes for the trigger, but before she can fire, an ear-splitting bark rings in your ears and the world explodes into neon green. You feel weightless and empty, cocooned in a bitter cold. For half a second, you think you just got Avada Kedavra. Avada Kedavra. But then you glance around and see the stars, an iridescent light show twinkling all around you, painting the vast expanse with beaded glimmers. It is transcendent. It is beautiful. You are at peace. Or maybe that's just the asphyxiation talking. Space junked. We don't have the gown anymore. Where's the gown? Where's the gown? Stay calm and explain yourself. All right. Pretty much everyone except John has called you on your bullshit thus far. So you may as well give her the full confession. You absolutely did change the course of reality, but it was the result of a genuine fuck-up, not ill intent. It's kind of a long story, but you relate it as best as you can. Your strange lack of memory, an encounter with a bizarre and magical artifact, the way you blundered into John's life and destroyed his mail as a result of your highly relatable social anxiety. The girl listens intently as you explain what brought you here, and then you offer an apology. You think that you have irreversibly altered the very fabric that threads her cosmos together. There's probably no way of putting things back like they were, and letting this lady go on her golden dream quest, or whatever she was blathering about while you were distracted by your very deadly gun. Okay. You sound very sincere, and I'd like to believe you. So I'll take you at your word for now. Whatever shenanigans you involved yourself in, I trust that you did not intend to cause any problems. Let's put all this ugly business behind us. The girl holsters her rifle and breathes a long sigh of relief. Sorry about all that. I promise I only had the best intentions. It's cool, you tell her. You get the distinct feeling you've dealt with much worse. Yeah, I'd imagine a space hopper like you has been to all sorts of cool and dangerous places. I'm kind of jealous, really. But anyway, we never properly introduced ourselves. My name is Jade and my dog's name is Bequirrel. What's yours? Huh. You know, you think this is the first time you have ever been asked for your name. Ever. You almost forgot you had one. You tell Jade your name. Huh. That's a very unique sounding name. I like it. You tell Jade that you like her name too, and she beams at you. Thank you. See, like, okay, sorry. Okay, I don't like this smile. Like, I like the smile, but this smile doesn't tell me it's Jade. Jade has this distinct feature, and you can't see it here. It bothers me a little bit. It bothers me quite a bit. Thank you. I'm so glad my grandpa gave me this name. It's so pretty and fairly unique and just very likable. Anyway, why don't I show you around? I can give you a tour of the house and we can get to know each other a little better. Oh, that sounds great. You're an expert on taking tours of other people's houses, which makes sense since you don't actually have your own house. Jade stares sadly at you. Curse of anime teeth. I'm very sorry to hear that. Look, it's there. No, it's cool. You have magic now, so the trade-off is probably pretty fair. Right. Well, this of course is my room. As you can see, I have a ton of pretty posters. This is my favorite. It is a gift from Dave, and I love it. And I love it to pieces, even though it's honestly pretty dumb looking. But that's the point. She gestures to a poster of Dave's webcomic guy with animal attributes scribbled on them. I don't think she's gesturing to that one. Most of the other posters also feature anthropomorphic fauna, drawn with significantly more finesse. It all gives you a very furry vibe. But not in a bad way, you clarify. Her lips twitch in irritation, and it occurs to you that people are probably constantly either clowning on her for liking furry stuff, or reassuring her that they aren't about to clown on her for liking furry stuff. Well, I don't actually dress up in the suits or any of that nonsense. But I really love animals, and I think it is fun to imagine what it would be like to be one. Which is why I own so many animal toys, like the Manthro chaps. Who are very silly and dignified fellows who are part animal and part Victorian era gentle sir. Jade gestures to a pile in the corner heaped high with plushies and dolls of all sorts. Many of them look like man/animal abominations with curly mustaches, and other feature bright puffy squid-like creatures. Oh, and these are my squiddles. They are based off a cartoon show. Rose says it's a bad show, but I don't believe her. Jade fishes through the toy pile and retrieves a dark bluish black toy. This one is Inkabelle. She's my favorite. Oh, I don't get to see it? In one episode, she gets lost in the murky brine swallows and spends years completely alone, lost without any of her friends. But in the end, her friend's podlight tracks her down and saves her. It seemed so bleak the first time I watched it that I literally cried, but I realized in the end that it was a very poignant tale. Jade smiles wistfully down at the plushie in her hand. She glances from it to another one of the Squiddle dolls and her expression tightens. She squeezes the doll just a little too hard, causing a horrendous pitchy squeak. I guess in retrospect that was pretty silly though. I mean, it was just a kid's show. Of course there was going to be a happy ending. That's how those always work, right? Jade's still smiling as she tosses the doll onto her bed. But she puts so much force into the throw that it goes careening off the edge with a wheeze. You hear it plop onto the floor and magnetize itself to another Squiddle. Its voice box lets out a little weak little yay. Jade stands up and brushes off her skirt. Her eyes fall to her bedspread, which features a striking cloud design. She sighs slowly, then assumes a bright smile once more. Anyway, let's go explore the rest of the house, shall we? I've got so much to show you. Jade hikes up her skirt and skitters down the spiral staircase, 2 steps at a time. You're a little interested in the high-tech devices lying on the workbench near her bed, and a glowing green crystal that you think is literally uranium? But Jade's already gone, so you tear your eyes away and just follow. The landing below her room is a small and cylindrical, and features only a gray closet-looking device and a platform on the floor. My room is at the top of the tower, but this transportalizer will take us to the garden quick and easy. We're in the garden. She hops on and disappears in a flash of green light. You're a little nonplussed, but you've seen weirder. You step onto the platform. Oh. She hops on, disappears in a flash of green lights. You're on a little nonplussed. Yeah, oh, weirder steps on the platform. You hear a click beneath your feet, and instantly you're standing in a lush garden or atrium. There are exotic plants as far as the eye can see, ranging from psychedelic floral arrangements to tropical fronds to fruits and vegetables. Tall windows, blankets to the walls and allow sunlight to stream in. Instead, the windows are coated in a steamy mist. You feel like you just got clotheslined by a rainforest. It's beautiful, right? Jade opens her arms and spins around, gesturing to her various gardening stations. You nod, it really is. Gardening is another one of my favorite hobbies. It's a great way to get your hands dirty and do some real work. And the end result is really vibrant and beautiful. Jade waves her rough and callous hand at you, and then strokes her fingers along the pinkish petal of an anemone. Yeah, and hums a little tune toward it. One of its leaves seems to curl toward her touch. When Jade pulls away, she skips towards one of the windows and motions for you to follow her. It's a beautiful island vista that awaits your gaze. To your left is a towering mountain that might just be a volcano, and ahead of you is a small bay filled with giant lily pads and an old mossy temple. Beyond the island, the sea stretches out to a shimmering horizon. Past the boundary line, an entire world awaits. Ever out of reach. This is my home. This entire island belongs to just me, Beck, and my grandpa. It is a very peaceful place. The greenery is so lovely and the bay is very fun to take a dip in. There are some mysterious ruins down there too. I've been very curious about them, but Beck won't let me visit them. I can see things they're too dangerous. Grandpa's been there plenty of times before, though. Could her grandpa give her a supervised tour? Oh, Grandpa doesn't really move much anymore. He spends all his time having tea parties in the foyer. Oh, lol. He's quite old then. Did you forget what we were told? You could say that. Jade wanders away from the window and towards another one, whose view is exclusively centered on the rolling blue. She presses a hand against the misty pane and sighs. You know, Dave talks a lot about coming to visit me here. I mean, all of my friends do, but Dave especially. In his usual Davey way, of course, which means making a lot of jokes and nothing sounds very serious about it. Yeah, I'm itching to put on my safari hat and come. Trapping down to doomed death archipelago to get my ass murdered by Infinite Dog, the Eldritch Retriever, stuff like that. I know he really means it though. He wants to see me, just like I want to see him. But it's just wishful thinking. He doesn't know where this island is. Even I don't know where it is. All deliveries here go through some company P.O. box my grandpa set up before he died, and it's not marked on any maps. Because this is a special island with all kinds of important secrets on it, I get. Or it was special. I was special. But not anymore. Now I'm just a regular girl stuck alone on this dumb island for the rest of my stupid life. Whoa, you asked Jade if she's feeling alright. Yes, I'm totally fine. Just peachy, thanks for asking. Come on, let's keep up with the tour. There's no time for dilly-dallying. My grandpa's collection room is up next. The first one is full of his big game hunting trophies. I'd never shoot an innocent animal, and I think the trophies are pretty hideous. But I do have to admire his great work stuffing them, I guess. It is really hard to properly stuff and mount something, trust me. Cough. I cough and cough and cough. Wow, I cough. There's some cool stuff on the floors, like all these badass knight statues. Or these, faded blue portraits of pretty ladies. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, most of Grandpa's collection stinks. But I think what is important is what it all represents to him. He's been on all sorts of incredible, amazing adventures, and he has this huge array of interesting things to show for it. You tell Jade that her grandfather sounds like a hell of a guy. He sure is. Back when I was little, he used to go on trips all over the world and come back with so many interesting stories and new souvenirs. I was so odd. I guess a little jealous too. Sometimes he would be gone for days or even weeks at a time, and it would just be me and Beck holding it down. Oh, holding down the fort, my bad. I dropped something. I was always so happy when he came back, and I would listen to his tales without making a single peep. But he never asked me if I wanted to come along for an adventure, no matter how obvious it was that I did. Hello, Beck. I guess that's just the way of life for adventuring folk. There's no time to be tied down even by the people you love. They can stay at home and wait for you to come back. That's how it was with my grandpa, at least. What about you? You're an adventurer too. You've visited all my friends, and you've surely been to other awesome spots around the globe. So, I bet you've left someone waiting for you too, haven't you? I'm sorry, Jade, I'm sorry. Frost floods your veins and nestles into your heart with a burning chill. For reasons you don't understand, Jane tilts her head and bores into you with wide, curious eyes. One of her hands is balled up into a fist and both of them are trembling as she watches you. Geez, You're gonna have to coach another kid through parental issues, aren't you? You swallow down your sudden anxiety, force a smile, and remind Jade that you're suffering amnesia. Oh, right. Well, it's just this feeling I get. You know, I have great intuition. When she smiles, the corner of her mouth twitches. It's now or never. Would she like to talk? I said I'm fine. There's nothing to talk about. Unless you want to talk about, some of these flowers. Isn't this one such a lovely yellow? Surely there's nothing wrong with a good old feelings jam, right? Jade's an expressive, empathetic girl. Feelings jam should be her thing. You think that, but she's still steadfastly ignoring you. Hey, how about this orange goofy this orange with a goofy face on it? Why don't we boggle at it for a while? Jade, something's wrong. You need to talk this out. That's what you do. You're a talker. So why don't you two... Oh my god, just shut up. Please just shut your stupid fucking mouth. Of course something is wrong, and that something is you. Oh my god. There's a long pause. Jade stands there, her eyes wide, shocked at her own outburst. She wipes a tear from her cheek, takes a shaky gulp, and then sprints back up the stairs. Oof. That didn't work. You stand there for a while, feeling like a tender, AAA grade jackass steak with a baked douchebag potatoes on the side. Damn. Out of character, huh? To an extent, I mean. Still pretty jadey, though. Then you sigh and to yourself and make a trek back up to her room. Jade is nowhere to be seen. Becca's pawing clumsily at a large, suspiciously jade lump beneath the covers of her bed. You clear your throat and ask her, softly, if she wants to talk. It's cool, you say. You listen to teen drama all the time. This is some particularly choice drama. Not that you like the drama, you clarify. You just kind of exist in periphery of it constantly. You're a drama magnet. There's a long pause, and you're about to turn and leave when she pulls the covers off and turns to you. Her eyes are all puffy and red. Hey. Hey. I'm sorry I yelled at you. It's not really your fault. I mean, it kinda is. But you didn't know you were messing anything up. It's not fair for me to be pissed at you. It's just, none of this is fair at all. Yeah, that sounds like life, alright. I did not update my manga list. Oh no, I read like fucking 20 chapters and I didn't update it. You sit down on the bed and tell her not to vent about it. It's okay. You can take it. Okay. Have you ever spent your whole life waiting for something to happen and then it didn't? Well, your memory is pretty fuzzy right now, so you can't say you have, but you think you understand a similar sense of yearning. Good God, have you yearned? Same here, man. I'm a yearner. Yearning is a good word for it, yeah. Let me try and explain. When I went to sleep, I would see this beautiful golden kingdom called Prosper and hang out with the people here. I'd wake up with these fuzzy, half-remembered feelings of happiness and visions of the future swirling around in my head. It was nice. It was a good life. But there was this very lonely feeling that I couldn't make go away no matter what I did. I would always tell myself, soon, Jade. Soon it'll all change. You will get to travel to Prosper in your waking hours. You'll meet your friends in person. You will finally begin to live, like really live. I waited days, months, years for the days to finally arrive, and then it never came. I was sure that it would come on John's birthday. All of my dreams told me so. All the signs were there, but it just didn't happen. And now I don't know what to do with myself. I was able to ignore the lonely feelings because I knew that it would disappear one day, but now that day has slipped me by, and it's like all those years are catching up and crashing down on me at once, and I feel so small and helpless and sad, like the loneliest girl in the world. I don't want to put this all on you. That wouldn't be very nice, but it's not fair. Jade bolts from the bed and stamps her foot on the ground hard. Her face is flushed and streaked with tears and snot. She looks awful. Frankly, like someone who's been holding it all in for far too long. Beck gets up and starts licking at her cheeks, and she holds him off until she can wipe her face on her sleeve. Thanks, Beck. At least I've got you for a best friend, right? Jade settles back onto the bed, stroking Beck's fur softly. I have a lot of complicated feelings about all of this, I guess. So complicated and painful that I'd rather just pretend everything is okay. But now I can't pretend anymore, and these feelings are all that's left. And I hate feeling so glum. I hate sitting around being all sad and useless. Damn, that's her whole thing. It's stupid and pointless and a waste of my fucking energy, and it's not who I am, and I'm just dumping it all on you. Haha. I'm sorry, I really am. Man, you just completely fucked up this girl's life. And she's apologizing to you? Now you feel like the delicious 3-layered shithead tiramisu served after that nice meal of steak and potatoes you had earlier. You really want to help. Oh, I hit the mic, my bad. You really want to help Jade. And while you don't quite get all of this magical moon stuff she's been talking about, you do get how it feels to be lonely. That's something that you can help with. You offer your hand. Want to see the world? She sniffles and lightly shakes her head. It's not going to work. Well, there's no way to know unless you give it a try, right? She nods, stands up, takes your hand. But you focus on a familiar destination, John's house. But as you begin to dematerialize, Beck turns to stare at you. You hear a familiar barking sound in your ears. And when the flash of light subsides, you're standing right here in Jade's room, only a few feet away from where you started. What? See, I told you it wouldn't work. Come on, let me show you something. Jade hops up and shuffles down the staircase, and you follow her. She takes you to the teleportation pad on the atrium. These teleportation pads are all powered by thermal energy and use each other as beacons for the sake of easy short-range teleportation. But if you hook one of them up to a uranium converter, it modified coordinates specified on the logic board. You can theoretically go anywhere in the world, which I tried. See, she twists the top She twists the top of the pad with her fingertips and pulls it off. She shows you the wiring underneath. It looks messy, like someone has made multiple attempts to rewire the circuits. But when I used it, it only led to the exact same thing that happened just now. Beck used his powers to prevent me from leaving the island. Maybe I got the coordinates wrong and I would have ended up stuck underground or something, but I checked and double-checked my measurements. I think Beck just doesn't want me to leave the island. He wants me to stay somewhere he can keep me safe at all times. Perhaps he heard his name from above, or perhaps he just has a sixth sense about it. Because Beck wanders down the staircase and over to Jade, she gives him a soft-spoken stroke behind the ear. I love him very much, but as long as he's around, I'm stuck here. And because of the changes you made, that is how it will always be. I'm just going to have to get used to it, I guess. Jade deflates against one of her gardening tables and offers you a wan smile. A wan smile. For a split second, you could swear you see drooping doggy ears and a tail tucked behind her legs. Depression to this degree simply is not conducive to friendship. And even if it was, you would still feel pretty shitty about it. You should do something to cheer her up. We challenge Beck. It seems to you that the cause of Jade's problems, even though he's probably not hurting her on purpose, is Beck Real. He's a good dog, but he wants to protect her. But the time for that has passed. Jade is a new omnipotent friend in her life, and she's got places to be besides this island. There's only one thing for you to do. You need to establish yourself as the new alpha of the pack. You must win the right to escort Jade to visit her friends. This is how dogs work, right? Yes, yeah, it is. It definitely is, you think. You square up, bend your knees, and tense your palms. What are you doing? Don't worry about it, you tell Jade. You're practically an expert in luscious wrangling techniques by now. In what techniques? She shouts behind you. But you're already charging. Beck doesn't see it coming at all. Perhaps because it's such a spectacularly stupid thing to do. You go tumbling onto the ground with him and manage to pin him. You know exactly what to do now. There is only one possible course of action, and it has been incalculated with such mimetic gravity that you are entirely certain it will work as intended. Punch Beck in the snout to establish superiority. You punch Beck in the snout to establish superiority and immediately realize it's not working as intended. He snarls and flares up neon green, energy crackling around his body. You wince as heat washes over you as if you just opened an oven door. Your arm hairs stand stiff in electric terror. What were you thinking? This is a fight you can't win. Beck lunges at you and sinks his fangs into you. You yelp, pain splitting your sight, radioactive fire roaring up your arm. You yank yourself away and instinctively try to teleport, but as you disappear, Beck's teeth catch your shoulder and hold on tight. The two of you go hurtling through the nothingness, and you're pretty sure you've left blood splattered on some meta-narrative construct like a website scroll bar or the RenPy debug screen or some shit. Boom. Eventually you come exploding back to the cannon and bounce off a purple square with ungainly smack, dislodging Beck in the process. You tumble onto a bridge and scatter. Some dudes in goofy gesture outfits, and Beck lands in front of you. Good boy. Can we call it even here? He snarls and green flames crack the stone beneath his feet. So much for that. You throw up your arms in front of your face and squeeze your eyes shut before Beck lunges again. But you don't feel the sting of his fangs against your flesh. Instead, you feel the singular odd sensation of your body pressing right through Beck's, as though you have just had a window thrown at you, like a reverse defenstration, refenstration, unfenstration. The world beyond your eyelid strobes green, and when you open your eyes, you find yourself staring into a massive verdant stun. You think that when Beck went in for the kill, you must have phased through him as his power surged. It was pure dumb luck. You can't imagine what kind of precise timing it would take to pull that off on purpose. The good news is that you're alive, but the blood loss is really doing numbers on you, and you can't focus your powers. Your vision flickers at the edges, and there's a ringing in your ears louder than the flickering flames of the sun. You only barely hear a voice from behind you as your eyes glaze over. Is it Aradia? Oh, okay, yeah. Who's this douchebag? Sullix, be nice. This douchebag looks very injured. I think they're gonna have to restart and try again. They're like, next time. Game over. Oh my god, there she is. I don't care about you, but there she is. We did it. Okay. Now it's time to explore. You present your most finely honed smile of confidence and urge Jade to stand. This is no time to mope around. There's plenty of fun to be found without leaving this island. You suggest that perhaps with your help, you can give her the opportunity to explore that temple she's always been curious about. Really? That would be super fun. But what about Beck? Oh, there's nothing to worry about there. You have a genius plan, you tell her. You tell her, just head on over to the temple and you'll take care of the rest. Oh, okay, if you say so. But please don't do anything to hurt Beck, okay? I love him to bits. You wouldn't dream of it. Not on this route, at least. Jade portalizes downward, and you turn your attention to Beck, who is at least sniffing one of Jade's plants. You advance him slowly, with intent. You know what must be done. Pet the dog! Oh shit. You just get right in there. You pet the hell out of this dog. You employ all your strongest pampered techs, like the quick stretch up, the main massage, and the rare Cuddle Brand EX Doge Smite. Somewhere in the distance, a blue bird observes your masterful display of chirps and chirps happily. But suddenly, Beck's head snaps up and points his snout in the direction of the temple. Whoa there, buddy. Now's no time to be thinking of Jade. This is barely Scritch's time. You start rubbing Beck's stomach, and he flops on his back with his tail wagging and his feet curled up. Who's a good boy? Beck looks up at you, and you see the cosmos reflected in his deep, piercing eyes, and you understand. He's a good boy, and he knows it. After a while longer, spent threading your fingers through his silky fur, Beck curls up beside you and yawns, starting to nod off. You kiss him on the forehead and then take the opportunity to slowly stand up and exit the room, letting the sleeping dog lie. You're a little worried about alerting Beck by using your powers. He's pretty keyed into that kind of space-time manipulation, so you take the long route to the temple. Jade's Island is a very beautiful place with rolling hills and lush, sun-bathed plains. It looks like an excellent vacation destination, but it is also so bare. There's nothing and nobody around except for the hollow whispers of the wind, and you can see how this place would feel much less like paradise after years spent stranded here. When you reach the lake surrounding the temple, you see that the giant lily pads outside have arranged themselves into a walkway that you can use to reach it. How strange and convenient. You channel your inner frog and hop across. Ribbit. Hey, up here. Jade calls down to you. She's at the temple entrance, far above your head, waving down at you. Grooves carved in the walls form a ladder that you can use to climb up, and soon you're standing beside her at the entrance of the temple. A huge, imposing archway marks the ingress between this sunny island and the dark interior of the ruin. From within, you can see a faint yellow-green glow that seems to come from the runes carved into the wall. Spooky. As you proceed through the entryway, Jade runs a hand along the glowing walls, her face bathed in the sickly green. At the end of the hall is a large, round platform decorated with cloudy designs and a glowing orb at the center. Jade doesn't pick your interest. Well, it doesn't pick your interior decorator, but Jade seems quite awed by the sight. This is Gaia. I knew this temple had to be connected to that world some way. Jade rushes onto the platform and begins to descend. You quickly follow her before you're left behind as the elevator takes you down to the expansive and dark room below. Much like the rest of the temple, the space seems very sparse, as illuminated by the faint glow of the runes on the wall. 413, OMG! A large purple lotus flower rests atop a pedestal in front of the elevator. Petals wilted. There's an electronic display built into the pedestal, the timer that could feasibly count down for millions of years, but it seems to be glitched and stuck a few hours away from zero, with the second digit constantly ratcheting back and forth between two numbers. Jade places a hand on the pedestal and sighs. The number is stuck. I think this is a time capsule, but it's malfunctioning for some reason. Was I supposed to open it when the time was right? Now I'll never know. Where else could this place be hiding from me? As if on cue, the elevator platform shudders and begins to rise behind you. As the platform ascends, it becomes clear that there is a pit beneath it, which is basically a video game logic 101. Jade looks down into it, and you follow suit and see transportalizers? There's two of them, one a deep purple and the other a brilliant gold. Jade leaps down into the pit, which is a pretty brave maneuver because she's as deep as hell and real life still has fall damage. She grunts and sinks to her knees from the impact, but quickly recovers and rushes over to the golden transportalizer. She examines it for a moment and then clambers with a soft click. The pressure plate is depressed. The device surges to life. She disappears in a bright flash of light. Well, shit. You better follow her. Boom. You hop down, step on the transportalizer, and the same flash of light consumes your body. You feel something like wind whipping around you as your molecules are dematerialized and then reassembled in a new locale. A glimmering golden palace. Wow, this place is too fucking bright. Someone needs to crank the saturation down pronto. I don't believe it. Jade is looking around with wide eyes that reflect your golden surroundings. This is it! This is Prospect, the planet I visited in my dreams! I didn't think it was possible to get here like this. What does this mean? Why am I allowed to be here right now? I should go talk to the queen. And with that, she's off, sprinting down the halls with a renewed sense of vigor. You scramble to keep up with her, threading your way through crowds of confused white-shelled folk in fancy outfits. They kind of remind you of yourself, but with chitinous bodies. You sidestep a lady carrying a paint can and shuffle. Oh, Miss Paint! And you shuffle down a lengthy golden staircase adorned with regal golden spikes, but you can only barely keep your eyes on Jade Long's black hair as it swishes behind her. When you finally catch up, she's in the middle of an argument with two burly fellows in white suits. She stamps her foot at them, but they are undeterred, blocking her passage further. Eventually, Jade wheels around to look at you. She tries to soften her expression for your sake, but her face is still sour. The cops won't let me see the queen. Apparently, she's really busy with something. They've told me I'm not supposed to be here and that I have to leave right away. This is total bull. I'm a princess. I swear some sort of these idiots can't even recognize me without the pretty golden dress. Blah. I guess I'm not getting any answers here either. Let's just get out of here. And she's off again, this time strutting forward with her fist curled and her jaw set. You glance back at the guards, whose furrowed brows strike you more as worry than ire, then follow Jade back. You're almost to the exit when you see a dark figure silhouette against sky's brilliant blue. They're a humanoid in shape, with their leathery wings outstretched, the inky black tendrils trailing behind. Oh! Crimson Force crackles in their wake, and they swoop over the city like birds of prey. Something about them gives you a major case of the heebie-jeebies. You do a nervous little half-jog back to the transportalizer and get the hell out of Dodge. The temple feels oppressive. Wait. Okay. The temple feels oppressively dark compared to the blinding light of Prospect. Red Miles? Could just be his moving, his jamming. Your transportalizer, you just use flares up red and then cracks, but that's probably not a good sign, is it? You do what's best and ignore it, then climb out of the pit. Jade is standing beside the lotus contraption, running her hand along the pedals with her face set. What does it all mean? Was this here all along? Has my grandpa been to Prospect before? If I can't go there, then it must still exist. The game must still exist, but how? None of this makes any sense. I need to think about this. You follow Jade slowly back to her house as she mumbles to herself, brows furrowed. You can barely catch what she's saying, but she's clearly thinking hard. The clouds have never been wrong before. Is it too early? Was this meant to happen? Once you reach the atrium, Jade lets out a sharp breath and nods her head. Resolute, she turns to you. All right, I think I understand. I know what's going on now. Great. You offer her your most winning smile. What's the stitch? Well, the truth is I was always being immature about the idea of being a hero and having a destiny. Life isn't like a kid's cartoon after all. Heroes isn't all rainbows and sunshine, and it's childish to think that everyone gets a happy ending. That kind of storybook stuff doesn't really exist. To be a real hero, you have to be prepared to suffer horribly. It makes sense when you think about it. Everything came easy. There wouldn't actually be anything heroic about it. Why else would my grandpa have put me on this island? Why else would Beck keep me safe here? Even now that everything's changed, it's because it's my destiny. I have to prove I'm willing to suffer and willing to sacrifice. That has to be it. This can't all have been for nothing, right? That's not the way the world works. Everything has a purpose, even if it's not clear at first. Seeing Prosper in the flesh reminded me of that. My purpose is to do what I've always done, what my grandpa and Beck have all helped prepare me for. I know I'll be lonely, but in the end it means that everything will continue to play out the way it is meant to. It is a very noble job, and I've got to be the one to do it. You're at a loss for words. This really doesn't feel like the right takeaway from all this. But you don't know jack about Suburb or Destiny or any of that nonsense. So who are you to say otherwise? Suburb? Thanks for helping me visit Prospect. I wouldn't have figured this all out if it were not for you. And I'm sure that meeting you is one step along the way towards your mysterious fate as well. I'll be rooting for you. Jade erupts into a broad, beaming smile. It might be the first completely genuine smile you've seen from her this entire time, but that doesn't make you feel any better about it. In fact, it's more of a knife twisting in your guts, and when she throws her arms around you and hugs you tight, the knife pushes deeper to the bone. Well, you probably have more important stuff to do than keep hanging out with me. I'll let you get back to it. Jade turns around and heads for the staircase, leaving you to stare at her retreating form. Is this it? Will you accept the new destiny you've written for Jade and allow her to stay trapped here on this island? I don't accept it. Some people might take this as a lesson in the responsible use of reality altering powers. Some people might swear off manipulating canon entirely, but not you. What's the purpose of having sick-ass powers at all if you never use them? Maybe some god is going to punish you for the way you've been fucking with the universe, but right now you don't care. This girl would burn herself to ashes to keep her friends warm. The least you can do is risk the flame for her sake. You quickly sprint up the stairs. Oh, you're not leaving. You don't have places to be. I will be fine here alone, I promise. It's my duty. I'll get used to it eventually. You can't imagine she's okay with that, no matter what she says. Does she really want to stay alone for the rest of her life? Well, of course not. What I want to do is explore the world and hang on with all my pals. But it's not about what I want. It's about doing what has to be done. That's what it has always been about for me. Well, that's bullshit. Huh? Maybe Jade's fate dictates she never play the game she wanted to play. Maybe heroes don't get a happy ending, but that doesn't mean heroes can't be happy. There comes a time in every young woman's life you tell Jade, where she can't leave home because her pet is an overprotective god. Yeah. Okay, that's obviously not true. There comes times in many young women's lives where circumstances beyond their control leave them without an escape. Perhaps it is easier to believe that the escape will never come, but you can't let Jade do that. When life has you stuck at home, perhaps, you can still hold on to hope. You can fight, no matter how long you have to wait. You can keep looking for another chance to see the world. And if the universe tells you to sit, stay, and roll over, you look the universe dead in the eyes and ask, who do you think is the master around here? And then you tell it to motherfucking heal. Yeah, you're right. Even now, I was still being childish. It was easier to tell myself to be miserable for a noble cause instead of holding on to hope and maybe getting hurt again. But I have to have hope. That's who I am. I'm a hoper, not a moper. I will keep trying to convince Beck that it will be safe for me to leave the island. Things have changed and maybe he doesn't realize it yet. He's kind of a silly human dog at times, but he loves me and I love him and we can work it out. Maybe it'll take a while, but I'll definitely figure things out. And while I wait, you'll come visit me sometime, won't you? Sometimes, won't you?
Of course you will. You're not in the habit of abandoning your friends. The idea is unthinkable. You promised Jade you will come visit her. Now I feel like I'm gonna abandon her instantly in like a certain part. Come visit? Come visit? A light bulb goes off in your head. One of those cool LED bulbs. The idea that syncs your phone with a change of lights and spies on you for the government. Party time. Oh my god, is this it? You ask Jade if she's ever had a slumber party.
A slumber party? No, I've never had one. It sounds exciting, but is it really going to be part of just two people and a dog? That sounds more like a mild slumber hangout.
Don't worry about it, you tell her. Just starts getting the place ready for a bash, pull out a sleeping bags, conjure up some lightly irradiated snacks, pump up the fresh jams, etc., etc.
I don't know if we even have sleeping bags, but okay, I'll see what I can do. Maybe there's something useful in my grandpa's old supplies.
You shoot her a confident salute and dissolve into the ether of cannon. All right, Degbird, up and at 'em. It's party time.
Ugh.
John yelps and tumbles out of his chair, crashing to the ground in an undignified heap. It looks like he was in the middle of debugging some code on his computer when you interrupted him. His descentangles? I can't read. His limbs and stands up with a groan. Disentangles? Yeah.
Okay, Magic Mailman. We need to get some things straight. Your powers are extremely cool, but using them like this is kind of lame. Jump scares rank very low on the prank scale. They don't take any effort. They're just some sort of mean and annoying.
You apologize for scaring John. You're just in a very excited mood right now. Because it's time for a motherfucking slumber party.
Oh, cool. I've never been to a slumber party before. Who is it with?
You grin.
Don't you already know who with, John?
Home. The American Association of Mailmen?
You give him a blank stare.
Oh, right. Probably my other friends. That one should have been obvious.
Thanks. There you go, John. You tell him to pack up whatever supplies he thinks he should bring, and then get ready for another whirlwind ride through space-time.
I don't know. I should probably do the responsible thing. And let my dad know I'm going on a trip, even if I'll be back soon.
Okay, that's fine. You tell him. But don't take too long. Don't take too much time. The route already getting pretty long. This route's already getting pretty long.
Cool. Okay, what should I bring? Oh, I need to grab some movies. Definitely. Dave will be there, right? I should bring some McConaughey movies so he realizes I was right all along about Matthew's stellar acting. Oh, and of course some snacks. It's a great time for me to unload all of the excess birthday cake my dad made me. Seriously, there are hundreds of them in the fridge. It is highly ridiculous.
John coding for real? That was his thing. One of the things that was his thing that they never mention or bring up again. You wait patiently in John's room as he goes downstairs to fetch his bounty of cakes, talk to his dad, and do all of his other preparation. It takes forever. You're not really sure what he's doing down there. You think he might be walking around, examining all of the objects in his home in great detail, and solving a bunch of puzzles. Come on, John. That's not the right genre of game. Get your shit together.
Okay, ready.
Boom. Alright, step 2 is to get to Rose. You take John's hand and zap the two of you into Rose's mansion. John spends a while goggling at the giant statue of Zasserpan the Learned. Then you ascend the staircase toward Rose's room and knock on the door. Her voice comes in within slightly muffled.
You're home early. I've been hearing strange noises from the neighboring lab of late. Have you... Rose opens the door and freezes. John? Her eyes widen and she slowly steps backwards, which John takes as an invitation to stride into her room. Her cheeks darken and she scans the room, eyes flicking from mess to mess.
Surprise, Rose! We are here to steal you away, like the owl who kidnaps Harry Potter.
That's not... She sighs and turns to you. Care to explain the sudden intrusion? It is normally considered polite to call ahead, especially when one is possessed of reality-bending powers.
Oh, don't be melodramatic. There's probably nothing too embarrassing in this room.
John furrows his brow as he glances around the room. Eyes sweeping over the walls, he eventually settles on some pictures that have been hung up.
I mean, look at these great drawings. Did you do those? That is so cool. I didn't know you drew stuff.
Rose gives him a smile of a girl whose soul has been shriveled into a blackened husk. Again, an explanation would be nice. You explain that you've come to collect Jade's friends for a slumber party. I see. The commercial and critical failure of Suburb must have impacted her more strongly than I anticipated. She was really looking forward to playing that game with us. Yeah, that's putting it lightly, probably. I would hate to disappoint her further. Consider this my RSVP. Rose gives you a curt nod and turns to frown at John, who is poking around under her bed. Something tugs at the corner of her mouth. John, my mother is busy and will not be expected to return for a while. Why don't you and our strange friend go analyze her room instead? I need to pack.
Oh, okay, Rose. Whatever you say.
Rose shoves you out of the room with more strength than you expected from a 13-year-old girl and shuts the door behind. Hard behind. Door hard. Man,
I hope Rose realizes that I was being serious when I said her drawings were cool. We tease each other a lot, but she's really cool.
John speaking loudly enough that Rose can almost certainly hear him from the other side of the door. You think he knows that, but you don't say anything except casually to suggest that you and John go wait downstairs and admire all the ridiculous wizard art. He agrees.
God, this house is so weird. Who needs a giant statue of a wizard? Where did they even get this? Oh, and speaking of weird, I didn't want to bring this up with Rose in case it was just some funny story I'm not in on, but what's with all the writing on her?
But John trails off as Rose descends this staircase with a neatly packed bag. Oh, he's gonna talk about the whatchamacallit. Meow. Shall we? We shall, you say, with a hand on each other's shoulders. You close your eyes and concentrate on the Strider apartment. You're aiming for the hallway outside the front door, but this power is still taking some getting used to. So instead, pop into existence right on top of Dave's bed. Oh, fuck. He's tapping at something on his computer, and as soon as you appear, his entire body tenses up. You've barely had a moment to react before Dave wheels around in his chair and flings a handful of shurikens at you. One of them grazes Rose's cheek so closely a strand of pale hair flutters to the ground. She turns to look at the weapon. It's now embedded in the wall and runs a finger along the edge of the blade, squinting. You're a meshy. Oh, Jesus shit. What the fuck, man? Surprise. Okay, rule 1 of time travel or dimension hopping. Don't fucking pull this kind of shit. I mean, seriously. Under any circumstance, I'd be shitting my fucking nuts off about the opportunity to chill with my best bro. But dude, you can't just drop a guy's bestie into a middle of his room out of nowhere like this. This is an extreme social fox pause. You gotta give a guy some time to prepare. Don't be melodramatic, Dave. I assure you there's nothing present in this room that could make us think lesser of you. If Rose was scarred by the near-death experience just now, she doesn't show it. She hops off the bed and glances around. If you left any pornography out, it will only serve to confirm the hypothesis I have already made.
Haha, dude, are these selfies? Are you doing the duck face in this one? Oh, man.
Oh, for fuck's sake, John. You get a VIP all access backstage pass, and the first thing you do is insult my stuff. Like some rowdy tool at the Nickelback concert, rummaging through their closet instead of doing the musical world a favor and assassinating them.
Yeah, well, you would do the same, dude.
Touché. But anyway, aside from you getting your grubby hands all over my pristine collection of cool swords, what the hell are you doing here?
We're having a slumber party. Are you in?
Oh, I don't know. Bro's basically always keeping tabs on me. Guy wants to keep me safe, you know. Or rather wants me to only be in the right kind of danger to teach me lessons about irony and being dope as fucking a dope ass ninja master. Yeah. It's all some pretty intense supervision at this supervision is the point being made here. Was already getting some rank vibes from him after the little jaunt over to Olive Garden. Actually, the vibes have been off ever since John's B-Day, if I'm being honest. So don't know how he'd feel about me gallivanting off on some magic snooze adventure with Slappy, the time-traveling mailman. Seems like the kind of thing he'd take an issue with.
Come on, he can't be that bad. What kind of guy would let his brother go hang out with his friends?
I guess. Be a pretty shitty kind of guy if he did that, wouldn't he?
Dave stares off in the middle distance for a while. Rose observes him intently.
Look, Dave, I don't think it would feel right if we all had a big party and you weren't there. Dave would really miss you.
As would we.
Yeah.
Dave glances furtively around the room as if he's expecting the camera to blink at him from up in one of the corners.
All right, I'm in. Let me just grab some subs. That's supplies for short. Hey mailman, what's Jade's hell dog like? Do I need to bring one of these cool ass swords?
Kill. These swords are like $5 Chinatown swords, aren't they?
What? No. Okay, listen.
Well, Dave grabs his stuff and John heckles him. Affectionately, Rose's attention has been drawn back to the shuriken Dave threw at her. You stroll over and ask her what's up. She responds with her own question. Have you been introduced to Dave's brother? Not yet. You've heard about him a lot about him though. For the sake of diplomacy, you only briefly touch on the subject you formed. He certainly seems like a fascinating man. The kind of individual whose brain I would love to pick apart to find out just what twisted mechanisms fire off within its chambers. Interesting. So that's what she's thinking about Dave's bro. Rose chews on the bottom of her lip. Not exactly, but an adjacent topic. I'm mulling over an ethical quandary presented by the existence of powers esoteric. Totally doesn't want to smooch him. What? It's nothing to concern yourself with yet. We have a party to attend, apparently. Right. Dave is done packing up. You open both palms and suggest that everyone holds hands so you can best channel your powers.
Really? We're holding hands? God, this is so lame.
But he does it. And when he clasps John and Rose's hands, he shifts around and blushes faintly in a manner that suggests he doesn't really think it's so lame. In fact, he may think it is the opposite of lame. He may think it's rad. And he'd be right. Friendship is the raddest thing of all. You're full of warm and fuzzy friend feelings as you teleport back to Jade's atrium. Wait, no, that's just the feeling of your body dissolving and reconstituting itself halfway across the cannon. They are very similar feelings. You head to the base of the staircase where you call out Jade. Her guests have arrived, you tell her. Jade rushes down the stairs, nearly trips over her skirt. Her expression is tight and anxious, and when she sees your motley crew standing there, she freezes up. her breath hitches in a half sob. You really did bring them. They're here. You're all here. Jade breaks into a wide grin and sprints forward, launching herself like a misled her friends. Ooh, Flash stepped out of the way. Dave throws himself bodily out of the way, and Rose takes an alarmed step back, leaving John to bear the full brunt of her affections. She crashes into him, and the two of them go spinning around and around as Jade laughs breathily.
Whoa, calm down there, Jade. It's nice to see you too.
Tears are beating in her eyes as she squeezes him tight, and then pecks his cheek with a soft kiss. Oh, John, I'm so happy to see you in person. I'm in waking person and everything. I spent so much time watching you sleep.
What?
Jade swings around to look at the other two pals. Come on, you two too. Get over here. We are having a 4-time hug combo right now. Rose and Dave cautiously step forward, and Jade, with John's help, yanks them both into the tight embrace. Oh, yeah. She smooches them on the cheeks too. Rose's face lights up with a blush, and Dave nearly goes catatonic. When Jade pulls back, she's clutching John's hands and tugging so hard she might pull the damn thing off. Come on, everyone. Let's go upstairs. I found a bunch of military-grade sleeping bags in Grandpa's old adventuring gear and set them up in my room. We can play with all my toys and jam out to some music and stay up all night chatting with each other. And oh my god, you're all here. You're all here. This is really happening. Jade's next laugh verges on hysterical, and she's got tears streaked down her cheeks. Dave looks a little perturbed.
Holy, you're a meshy, wow. Holy shit, it's cool, Jade. No need to get so, like this. Kinda fucks me up seeing you cry. Not that I'm trying to make this all about me. I mean,
Dave, you're doing a horrible job of comforting her. Jade, come here. I shall hold you in my arms. Rose walks over to Jade, extends her thumbs, and wipes them down Jade's teary cheeks in a stiff, mechanical motion. Then she wraps her arms around Jade in an embrace that could generously be called a hug, but looks more like a precursor to an alien medical examination. John boggles at the display.
None of you whack jobs knows how to do this. Oh my god. Come here, Jade.
Thank you, John. Now come on, everyone, let's go. Boom, boom. And so the party begins. Tales told, movies watched, and fun had aplenty. So many shenanigans happen. So many. Perhaps someday you will recount them all in detail. But before you know it, the energy in the room has fled alongside the sunlight. The moon, the stars cast their pale gaze upon 4 supine friends, bundled up in sleeping bags and caught midway between slumber and wakefulness. Dave is rambling about some inane bullshit that nobody's paying attention to, and Rose is attempting, quite terribly, to lecture John and Jade on the modern reinterpretation of Lovecraft's work. You think it's about time you bowed out. It's not that you haven't enjoyed chumming it up with these kids, but you'd feel kind of weird sticking around overnight. You can come back later. Besides, you've got places to go and sights to see. There's an entire golden moon out there full of potential friends that you knew nothing about before today. The universe beckons and you are powerless to refuse. You give Beck a little nod and like, hey, take care of these kids. Beck doesn't nod back because he's a dog, but you like to think he understands. As you quietly slip down the staircase and out of sight, you spare one last glance at the group and find a sigh escaping your lips. Everything that's happened here feels almost too good to be true. Can it last? Can this brazen wish fulfillment go unpunished? Brazen. You find that hard to imagine. There's something fate touched about these kids. You can feel it in your bones. As surely as the wind whistles through the trees or the stars dance through space, as surely as the turning clocks will call the sunlight back again. These kids will never be free of the bullshit that hounds them. But right now, they are at peace. They have shared this one perfect moment together, and perhaps in the future there will come more betwixt the chaos. And maybe that's enough. Victory! Oh my god, it's their personas. Okay. That was nice. Subtle hinting. Okay. Bop. This image won't be relevant in the future. Boom. Don't accept. Oh wait, no, that's what I did last time. No, I gotta accept it. Wow, huh? You're kind of a huge jerk, aren't you? Or maybe the narrative is a huge jerk. Is that what you would say? But you're pathetically in charge of the narrative, so yeah, it's basically just you. But Jade seems happy enough with her lot in life. Maybe she's better off this way instead of whatever danger she would have gotten caught up in if she played Suburb. Yeah, you just keep telling yourself that. Bad end. Important heroic end. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay. Twas it. Twas the thing. Oh my god. One, two. Interesting. Okay. Okay. I guess it's time for me to start doing this. Yeah. Yeah. So, I wonder how we'll get there. Next time, Karkat and Kanaya. Yeah. So, twas that part of Pesterquest. We'll be back with that on Sunday. Friday should be normal day of me continuing Vast Error. Next week will be different though. Next week I have important week of work, and then the week after that I should actually have the entire week off for work. So maybe I just like finish everything and just caught up in 1 week. 7 straight days. No, that sounds kind of painful. But yeah. I am signing off. Maybe just one extra stream. Maybe. But I'm trying to think of anything to say. That is the end, I think. I think this is just fully the end. Yeah. I will be back on Friday. Yeah. So, for realsies, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Thanks for seeing Dave be like a weird like wreck. I guess Jade was the bigger wreck, but like Jade gets a pass on like, Dave in a way. But yeah. Bye.